What up, Bucs fans? This is Michael Plus, the real Bucs talk. Wanted to go over the Buccaneers loss to the San Francisco 49ers, do a little recap. Uh, Sorry for the delay, but we had to take a couple days just to process this one as it was the worst loss of the season so far. You look at it 35-7. And going into it, I did that preview video before the game started, and I thought, maybe the defense will be able to play, strong enough to keep us in it, keep it close. Maybe if the offense doesn't turn over the football, it won't end up, being a blowout like it did, but it was just bad all around. I mean, you look at the numbers here again. Brock Purdy, he was pretty efficient, not didn't really have to do too much. 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then you look at the rushing attack, 209 yards on the ground, and 3 rushing touchdowns from that. So again, didn't do much through the air. Again, they had a couple of big plays, the one to McCaffrey and then the one to Ayuk, which were both kind of coverage mistakes there, letting guys get behind them. And then other than that, it wasn't much. But and then the usual issue for the Buccaneers all season, scoring points. And they just really couldn't do that. Brady, had to throw the football more than he wanted to because of the score, and you get behind, and that's what happens. Try to force some things. You had the 2 interceptions. Running the football, again, not a lot of commitment there. Again, once you get down to a certain number, you have to start throwing the football. But not a bad game from Rashad White, 13 carries, 56 yards. Did have the one fumble. You don't want to see that going forward, but just it was really just not good. From the start, obviously San Francisco goes right down the field and finds ways to put up points on the board. Buccaneers defense was really just not good in this game. Couldn't get any sustained pressure on the quarterback. Couldn't stop the run, as far as maintaining their gaps, and obviously Vita Vea getting hurt early in the game, only playing 4 snaps. That doesn't help your defense. But linebacking play was not good. Secondary made mistakes across the board, and just errors that you haven't seen this defense make all season, and they did so in this game. So it was a really bad performance by them overall. And offensively, again, they didn't do anything to help each other out, as far as complementary football. The only bright spot of this game was the new returner, which was Devin Tompkins. He had a great, nice long return on a kickoff, 54 yards, as you see there. So really did a good job. Good job in the punt return game as well. But it just it's a struggle right now for this team as they lose, going to 6-7 now. And San Francisco keeps their hot streak going as they win, I think now 6 in a row, 9-4. So very impressive for that team. But where do the Buccaneers go from here? I'm not sure. There was a play, and I'll bring it up here. There was a play that was a positive, and but again, it ended up being a negative because of a holding penalty and something that Bucks fans know about with Donovan Smith. Unfortunately, the bad Donovan Smith has shown up more often than not this season, which wasn't the case last year. I thought he was one of their better players, but let me bring this up in full screen. Again, this was a pivotal point in the game. You're able to tie up the score here with this long touchdown coverage bust by San Francisco, and you put it at 7-7 right there in the first quarter. You're right there in the game, but then you have this holding penalty, it was very obvious holding. And it's just unfortunate that this is the type of inconsistencies that this team continues to face with, penalties, mistakes, turnovers, guys just not being where they're supposed to be. Again, just not very good technique there by Donovan Smith, allowing the defender to just get into his chest, and just not good. But this was a big play. I mean, could definitely have changed the outcome of this game. And there was a couple other opportunities where, there was other opportunities in the game where they could have maybe mounted a comeback, maybe made it a little bit closer. earlier in the game in the first half, specifically. Brady didn't play well either. Missed a lot of opportunities to guys. Mike Evans down the field, Mike Evans in the end zone. There's misses to Scotty Miller and Julio Jones. So everyone everyone needs to really look themselves in the mirror with this team, and guys got to start being accountable. But I don't know, it might be too late for this team to really display change and really display, everything starting to click. I mean, things should have been clicking by now, and we're going into week 15. And it's just, now with the injuries starting to pile up with Jamel Dean injured and Vita Vea, and then you have other guys injured in Antoine Winfield, Sean Murphy Bunting, and, the list goes on where those injuries are stacking up. I mean, it's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow, especially as Bucs fans, and myself included at Real Bucs Talk, and Mark as well. It's tough to talk about, especially from coaching staff top to bottom, not doing what they're not getting it done from a scheming and game planning standpoint, where other teams just know what the Buccaneers are going to do every week, and there's just nothing different to surprise these teams or catch them off guard. There's no creativity on the offensive side of the ball with new pass concepts or new routes. It's the same scheme where they just line up and they hope their guys execute to their best ability and win on that one-on-one matchup or however it's supposed to play out. And it's tough because certain guys are just not playing how they have played in the past. Tom Brady is one of them. And the Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, just inconsistencies on all accounts. Leonard Fournette has been up and down. And the offensive line play, again, it's not been the best. It's been okay. Certain guys have played better than others, and so it's just been very frustrating to watch a team with a lot of talented players, but for whatever reason, they just can't get it all on the same page week to week and find consistency. And you look at the standings there, Buccaneers still in first place. Imagine that. And it's really going to come down to the end of the season here. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, just wanted to give you some of my thoughts on the game. And we'll definitely break some more down from this matchup. And I'll try to get some, film studies out of what we saw. But be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate all the support. We're going to try to get things rolling here again. I know we've been kind of on a hiatus here with the lack of content. So we're going to try to ramp it up here to finish strong to the season, and especially going into the off season, we're definitely going to be full bore and full steam ahead. But anyway, guys, comment down below what you thought of this game. It was rough to watch, obviously. And again, we appreciate all the support. And with that said, until the next one.